Welcome back. Mass shootings have become more frequent and more violent. And as people still healing from violence tell Scripps reporter Vanessa Misciagna, if we don't act to address the root causes, they fear the cycle of violence will not be solved.
Rhetoric moves to we're strong, El Paso strong. And it's what does strength mean in this? Yes, we can rally together, but what were the circumstances that made it happen that now we have to be strong?
In the shadow of a memorial, life goes on nearly 3 years after a mass shooting that took the lives of 23 people at this Walmart.
I think everyone has shell shock, both from the attack, from COVID, and hasn't really had the time to process the trauma, but it's there and it's real in the community.
Zeb Green is a minister of the Unitarian Church in El Paso, as well as a community organizer who led healing circles and worked with the community after the racially motivated shooting in 2019. As traumatizing as it was, he says it was not surprising that it occurred as El Paso, a border community, experienced a crescendo of hateful rhetoric and demonstrations targeted at migrants.
It was only a matter of time before El Paso got attacked.
A 2020 study headed by University of Alabama criminology professor Adam Langford says mass shootings are getting more deadly due to the perpetrators being influenced by other acts of violence. The number of shootings where 8 or more people were killed have doubled since 2010. The Violence Project, a mass shooting tracker, reports that hate-motivated mass shootings paired with those carried out by fame-seeking perpetrators have increased rapidly since 2015.
The shooter in Walmart articulated this very specifically. And that same kind of language of people of color replacing white people is the same language that they were using in Buffalo. All of this violence is not happening sporadically. It's happening under very specific guidelines, ideologies, groups.
Juan Ortiz is a founder of Casa Carmelita, a community resource center. He says to end mass public violence, it's crucial to recognize patterns.
The country has a lot of unresolved scars.
80% of the time, there's been something such as a breadcrumb. And a lot of people don't want to believe that that content is going to manifest into an atrocity.
Colby Rogers is a researcher at the Colorado Resilience Collaborative, which looks for patterns and indicators among acts of targeted and mass violence. He says a missing piece of the mass shooting conversation is how violence impacts members of a targeted community months to years after the fact.
I think we live in a world currently that is absorbed in a collective trauma. It's just when the whole community has been exacerbated by hopelessness and helplessness.
The media's here, resources are here, and then it evaporates. And unfortunately, lots of times, then people start looking to make blame.
If violence influences more violence, what can stop this domino effect and protect the public? Well, as a nation, we're still trying to figure that out. But for those still living with the pain of targeted mass violence, they know of a place we might want to start, an emphasis on community and understanding.
People throughout America, every person is struggling, and instead of addressing the real roots of the struggle, economic struggle, it's so easy to pick a target.
We have to examine ourselves in the many ways we contribute to that we've allowed that culture to continue.
I'm Vanessa Misciagna.